Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica. I'm a sourcing specialist here at Velosio. I work with the recruiting team. And today we're here to talk about the modern workday and kind of some of the advances in AI and how that's kind of affected things. I think the collaboration tools that I've found most useful working remotely and especially here at Velosio, there's a few that come to mind. I think in general, we do a good job here, especially on the HR team, of having consistent meetings set up so that we're, communicating weekly. Feedback forms, I know that's something new that we've kind of implemented in the quarterly QPP process, was getting the 365 feedback from our peers, and that's been super helpful. WorkDove in general, I think, has been great. Just for collaborating, my manager and I will go in and kind of edit things as the quarter progresses. We'll make sure our goals are aligned. Kind of, you can constantly see what percentage of my goals I've completed and what I have left to complete. So I think it's very easy to collaborate with WorkDove as well. Any Yammer, more on just kind of like a social front, but yeah, I check Yammer every day and have a really good time with that. Lifelong learning has personally benefited my career in this digital age, I would say, in a couple ways. I think I was lucky to kind of come up in a time where I, already knew in my kind of high school, middle school age, PowerPoint and Excel and things like that. So there's a good foundation there for all the advancements that we've recently made. I know it can be tricky for people because you kind of need technology in order to learn about technology. But yeah, I mean, I think that just staying up to date with your basic foundational skills makes it easy when new things come out, like ChatGPT and AI. And Velosio recently funded a certification for me where I went and completed a course on how to source candidates and recruit on some of the more cutting edge platforms and job boards that have come out recently. So that was super helpful. And yeah, just kind of, refreshing when you need to and staying on top of it. So, some of my biggest, I would say, sources of work related stress and challenges I encounter specifically in the modern work environment. I think being remote in and of itself can be a challenge. Is in recruiting, it's a very collaborative role, especially me supporting the recruiters. It's very metrics driven. So, there's always, tight goals and things like that to hit every quarter. So, I think that being able to manage your time when being remote, I personally I love using my calendar tool for time management. I think that's huge for me. Over communicating, I think it helps a lot, kind of finding out how different coworkers, whether it be internal or external clients or candidates, how they prefer to communicate. Some people like being pinged, some like to just be called, some prefer email. So, kind of getting to know what makes everyone feel the most comfortable and productive, and then adjusting your style to that, I think has helped a lot as well. Based on my experience, some productivity tips and tricks from working from home, those in general are huge. I think just staying organized when you are working remotely and kind of helping with work life balance, there's a few things that come to mind. The first one is my calendar tool. I might have mentioned that, but I think that I just religiously live by. I think since you're remote, it's kind of the only way that your colleagues can see what your day looks like. You're not sitting next to each other to kind of tell each other when when you're out of office or when you're busy. So I think I make sure to block focus time, because as much as we all have internal meetings and collaboration that we need to do, we also have our core job duties. A lot of the time for me in recruiting, it's candidate calls and interviews and things like that. So I think making sure to block focus time so that you're not bogged down by kind of internal meetings, and making sure that people just know where you are when you're busy, and so they don't schedule things over, and just keeping calendar up to date is huge for me. I also use a digital planner just to again, another way of just kind of staying organized in a virtual world. It syncs with my teams, so it kind of allows to if whenever I update one, the other reflects it. I also use Calendly when scheduling calls. I can send candidates or clients a link to my Calendly, and they can click it, and it also is synced with my calendar, so it specifically shows them what times are available and they can select a time to talk. So I think those are the three things that come to mind that help me the most. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this provided you some helpful tips and tricks with working remotely. Make sure to tune into the rest of our videos on modern work, and thank you so much.